I am Steven. I am going to go over a quick prompting demonstration on how I got my backgrounds for my product photos that I took a little while back. I had some questions, so here we go. One of the biggest names in AI has got to be Midjourney. It's really taken over the scene, so that's what we're going to be working in because that's what I did the backgrounds in before for my prompting. Now, back then it was version 4. We have just upgraded to version 5 this week. So we're going to go over the prompts that I did back then and see how they compare now, and then go back into it and look at what we can get out of the new backgrounds. This is a new prompt that I did just for version 5 to see what it could come up with. Bottle of prime drink with explosion of berries and liquid behind it. Blue and black color themes. I like to keep it very simple and neat. I don't want to go crazy with it. And also, I mean, they're getting really good text in here and everything, so it's a matter of time before we can just put a bottle scanned in through some type of other diffusion software and actually get the product in here with it. But we'll be using this one for later. I've already upscaled it. And then, so this is the pink drink that we did with the red and green liquids for last time. Sports drink exploding through raspberry liquids and laser beam. It did not do the laser beams like I wanted. That was the prompt for that. Here is a new version. Explosion of blue raspberry smoke, lightning and sparks, teal and black color scheme. So this was how the version 5 looked. Also, you can get generic products out of this. So coffee mug on seamless white background. This is the version 5. So these were the mugs that I got. I upscaled this top one and we'll be looking at that soon. These were the upscaled versions that I have taken that we will be looking at today. Not sure if I showed this one, but coffee beans and coffee splashes on white seamless background. Studio lighting. You could do a lot of different modifiers and add-ons to get what you're looking for out of the prompts. That's something you'll just have to play with yourself. I always say just start out real nice and simple with what you're looking for and go from there. So if you're just looking for a coffee mug splashing in coffee with coffee beans all around it, and you want that aspect ratio to be 2:3 and in version 5, so I'll skip ahead to this. Here we have the results for the coffee mug splashing in coffee with coffee beans all around it with the aspect ratio 2:3. As you can tell, it already does the splashing and coffee beans and makes it look real good, but the actual coffee is splashing out of the center of the coffee mug, and that looks great. But what if we wanted the product to be splashing into the coffee itself? And that's where making a background and then the product itself would come into play. So let's take a look at all that and go from there. Here we have the mug that I have already cut out and the background that I had before. So let's just place this in here inside some type of scene that I think would be good, and then I will just fast forward it. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this because you could watch the other tutorial that will be listed at the end of this video. Stay around for that so you can see how to do this properly. This is just kind of a generic mock-up of something that would work. Here we have something a little different and new that I kind of wanted to show you. So something like this would be able to integrate just by covering up this bottle and fitting in the same place, similar to how we did the green and red thing. If I placed it in the general area of this, then I'll time lapse until the end and we can take a look at it from there. This is just a generic mock-up, but you could tell how this could quickly become something in a product form, just really fast, just to show you how it could work. So this is that same blue bottle just changed to red, and I removed the blueberries, but this would be a good representation of just creating a quick splash and just photoshopping this into that, make it look real nice and good, and put this bottle in here. And just that quick, you could have a bottle splashing out of a geyser of some kind, which all of these are just really fast, basic. None of these are final images. I would do a lot of color correction to make this match up. I would probably pick a better scene. I would have this bottle coming out in a different direction. There's a lot of variations that you could do with the actual things themselves just by clicking make variation. So it would be the same thing, but a little bit different, and that would have a little bit different of an output. Just work with it until you really get what you're wanting. Don't be afraid to do 50 or 100 of the exact same images. Get it to narrow down a lot more. Once again, keep it very simple. If you were just looking to do a bottle shooting out of pink liquid with dust particles around and backlit, you wanted it to be a thumbnail, so 16 by 9, and then you would get this result. So I did a variation of this first one, and that produced this down here. So the bottles are looking a lot better. This would do a lot better as far as quality goes inside. Now, if you really wanted to, you could choose something else, or even something like this one where the bottle's coming out of the bottom, or do a variation on that one. These are the types of things that I was talking about. Here is another backlit kind of thing that I was going for. The product that it produced, kind of awkward and weird, but if you were looking for something like this with bubbles at the bottom, then you could work with that. If you were looking for something else, then something like this may actually work out better for you with just the lighting being dramatic, or even something kind of pouring out. There's so many variations that you can do with this. If you were looking for some type of background, liquid behind bottle splashing all around it, studio lighting, orange and cherry. So maybe you wanted some kind of glass bottle with oranges and cherries all around it, with liquid shooting all around, or a different type here. Maybe you wanted to use just this bottom part down here, and then you wanted to use something else for the top. So this would be the upscaled version of using something for this bottom part, putting your bottle in place of this one, and then looking for something different for the top. So I made a couple variations, all of the same thing. I did 3 variations, which means I just clicked the variation button 3 times. This is kind of the different variations it gave me, and then from here I would take a look at the best one that I thought of these, and then click another variation on it, kind of like how this looked for the front. Sometimes you gotta pick and choose. Now I can just use these front elements for something and then just completely change everything for the back and go from there. Oh, and by the way, the thumbnail that you saw, the exact same thing. All I did was prompt in a guy screaming at a camera for YouTube thumbnail with a dust and explosion in the background, getting him going at the camera 16 by 9. And then I just photoshopped myself into this in reverse. So this works with people as well. If you want to see this during a photo shoot or with the person integrated into it, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.